We are going to see the poetical devices. Let's start with the rhyme scheme of the poem. For the previous poem also I discussed the rhyme scheme, and today we are going to see the rhyme scheme of the poem. Let us read the poetry lines first. This is from the first stanza. Read the line. When the jet sprang into the sky. When the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had, seeing it scaled 6 inches to the mile. Let me read it out again. When the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had, seeing it scaled 6 inches to the mile. Is there any similar rhyming words, children? Sky, city, had, mile. The lines ends like this with the word sky. Here it ends with the word city. Here it ends with the word had. And here it ends with the word mile. So there is no similar rhyming words. Is there any similar rhyming words at the end? No. So what is the thing we are going to mark? We have seen only 4 lines. We are going to mark it like A, B, C, D. Have your pencil in hand and you have to mark the rhyme scheme. Have your pencil in hand and give the rhyme scheme of first 4 line as A, B, C, D. First 4 line have you marked like A, B, C, D. Shall we move to next 4 lines? Yes, we are going to move to next 4 lines. There seemed an inevitability. 1 second, children. There seemed an inevitability about what on ground had looked haphazard. About what on ground had looked haphazard, unplanned and without style, when the jet sprang into the sky. So this is the way the first stanza ends. So this is the place where the first stanza ends. It ends with the word sky. It ends with the word sky. We are marking here A. Why we are marking here A? Go back to the previous slide. Here you can see the first line of first stanza is sky, and last line of first stanza is also sky. So A. Style. Here you can see the word style in the previous line. Here you can see the word mile. Style, mile. So it is D. Here it is style, mile, D. Here it is had. Here it is haphazard. So C. Inevitability. Here city. So B. Now give the rhyme scheme as A, B, C, D. A, D, C, B. Inevitability, city, both B. Haphazard, here had. Haphazard, had, C. Style, last word of this, style, there, mile, D. B, C, D, A. The rhyme scheme is clear for you, children. First stanza has 8 lines. A, B, C, D, B, C, D, A. Write the rhyme scheme first, then you can find the correlation over there. Copy down the rhyme scheme. For inevitability, B. For haphazard, C. For style, D. For sky, A. Have you marked this rhyme scheme, children? Now you can just go through. The rhyme scheme goes like this. A, B, C, D. B, C, D, A. Have you got the rhyme scheme? The rhyme scheme is clear for you? Yes. The same rhyme scheme is also followed in second stanza. The same rhyme scheme is also followed in second stanza. Next, we are going to the next poetical device, alliteration. Alliteration, I think you are clear with alliteration. What is alliteration, children? I have already told you, alliteration, same sounding words, but it will be consonant sounds. You know the differentiation of vowel sound and consonant sounds. The same we are going to see here. We discussed this poetical device in the previous poem, The Ant and the Cricket. So I know that you all remember what is alliteration. Come, let us see the line. When the jet sprang into the sky. What is the alliteration over here? The sound of sprang, sky. It starts with the phonetic sound. So that is a consonant sound. When the jet sprang into the sky. Yes, yes, the sound is given here. Come to the next line. Seeing. This is not the next line. You can see that in the same stanza. Seeing, it scaled 6 inches to the mile. Here you can see this to the sound together, and yes, yes, yes. Underline all these letters and you can write it alliteration over there. What is the meaning you will give for alliteration? How you will define alliteration? Alliteration is same sounding words, okay, same sounding letters that starts a word. Same sounding letters that helps you to start a word. You can see the same letters. Yes, 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 yes over here. And here even you can see to the same sound of the. It is there. This is called alliteration. Are you clear with the rhyme scheme of the poem? Are you clear with the alliteration? Shall we move to the next poetical device then? Next poetical device is a very interesting poetical device. When I taught you this poem, The Ant and the Cricket, I told you that ant and the cricket is some form of poetry. What is that form, children? And I have given you an example over here. Here you can see a turtle and a rabbit. This is a story of a turtle and a rabbit. Could you remember what is the thing that is told by me when I handled you the poem, The Ant and the Cricket? The poem is written in which form? Is there any guess? I just pausing here to get the answers from you. Yes, you are right. It is a fable form of poetry. When we have animals as characters in a poem, that is called a fable. Do you remember the thing? Ant and the cricket is called as a fable form of poetry. Then this geography lesson, what form of poetry it is? Is there any idea? Is there any guess what form of poetry it is? Geography lesson, it is a lyrical poetry. Come on, take it down in your textbook. Write it down. It is called as a lyrical form of poetry. It is called as lyrical poetry. The poet expresses his feelings and it is written in first person narration. Could you get the lyrical form of poetry? What is called lyrical form of poetry? The poet expresses his feelings through the poem. The poet tries to express his opinion about what is happening on earth. Yes, he brings out his feelings. He pours his feelings through this poem. Through this poem, geography lesson. So this is called what? It is called a lyrical poetry. And when the poem is written in first person narration. What is called first person narration, children? Yes, the poet himself narrates the poem and he is the speaker over there. That is called first person narration. When I started with the poem, I told you, no, you have to imagine that the poet is traveling in the jet. That is the reason why the line is given over here, written in first person narration. When the poet tries to express his feelings or whenever it is written in first person narration, That form of poetry is called lyrical poetry. Children, try to understand what the teacher is telling you. It is going to help you during the time of assessments. Write down in your textbook, geography lesson is lyrical poetry. Then, Ant and the Cricket is a fable form of poetry. Geography lesson is a lyrical form of poetry. The poet expresses his feelings and it is written in first person narration. That is why we call this as lyrical form of poetry. Have you taken it down on your textbook, children, with pencil? Or if you need, you can write it down in your classwork notebook also, no problem. Is it clear? Things are clear for you? Shall we move on to the next slide? Okay. Here I have given the poet's name over here. And what does the smiley tells you? Smiley is happy or sad over here? The smiley is sad. Zulfikar Goose is also sad. The poet is also sad. Why he is sad? Why he is sad? Because he expresses his own feelings that people are hating each other. There is no unity in people. There is no love. There is only hatred. That is the reason why I have given an expression over here that the poet is not happy. The poet is not happy about what is happening in the world. Shall we move on to the next slide? Visual imagery. We have one more poetical device over here, that is visual imagery. If here I'll tell you one thing, children. If I have taught you this poem in class, it will be different. You would have only the textbook. But when I handled this poem with the help of a PPT, I am sure that I have made it interesting. I supplied you with many images. Did I supported my slide with many images or not? Previous class, you had a jet image, you had a topography of earth, and you had landforms, buildings. Did I supported my PPTs with images or not? So the poetical device which is used here is visual imagery. The poet gives the vivid picturization from a distant view. Visual imagery. The poet is trying to touch the sensory organs. He is giving importance to vision over here. He is bringing in the ideas. He is asking you to imagine things. When you are going to fly in a jet, when you are going to look down from there, what are the things you will observe? You have to imagine yourself. So which sense organ is given importance? Vision, sight is given importance. Am I right or not, children? Yes. That is the reason why it is called visual imagery. Which imagery is given importance? Visual imagery is given importance. This one picture will describe you such thing. The poet is flying in a jet and he is looking down from the jet and he is giving his own perspective of what is happening. Next, what is the theme of the poem, children? The theme of the poem is he is urging universal peace. What is the meaning of the word urging? He wants people to be united. He wants people to be united. And he is asking people to do things with love. He doesn't want hatred. You can see the image. Everyone is holding the hands and they are forming circle. Yes, the poet is urging universal peace. He doesn't want the war to happen. He doesn't want the war to happen. He wants peace. He needs peace. He needs love. He doesn't need hatred. That is the theme of the poem. That is in poet's mind. Urging means he is asking the people to have universal peace. There should be no wars. There should be no hatredness. Have you understood the poem now? This is the theme. I have discussed so many things. This is like an explanation section, or you can take it like discussion of the poem. Here we end the poem, children. Be careful in